Good or bad, a movie, a film, is supposed to make you feel something. Break down a film like 2009's The House of the Devil, I gotta get real honest with my audience and myself. You see, a lot of people, self included, had a hell of a lot of expectations from this film, this horror satanic slasher from the now immortal Ty West. A quick Google search brings up reviews that are all over the map. It currently sits at a modest 2.8 user review, which suggests that it's lacking, overcompensating, and maybe even a little bit pretentious. The lows claiming it's undeserving of its high Rotten Tomato meter score of 85%, claiming horrible, 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 dragging, slow, poor special effects. I didn't realize I'd be spending an hour with a girl walking around eating pizza and talking on the phone, a user says. To the highs, I regret to inform you that House of the Devil didn't get that classic horror status and masterpiece title it so deserves. Amazing, suspenseful, and the best death on screen in a movie. Naturally, tastes are subjective, and your mileage may vary, as the lows are a cavernous black hole and the highs seemed just unjustly hard to sustain. I think for a film like this, you have to be willing to take a trip. You gotta be interested in going to someplace unfamiliar, but still kinda cozy and familiar at the same time. But as of late, just rarely revisited. You gotta be ready to pick up on the small stuff, nuance, and the love for things lost in time. Back to an era before the cellular phone, ride sharing, pagers, or even beepers. Back to when word of mouth and just an anonymous help wanted ad was all you had, and new Coke and cassettes were in. That's the director's choice and circumstances involved in The Passion Project from 2009. Back when I first heard of a thing called the Tomato Meter, I remember reading about a film by a new director who was a massive fan of classic cinema, who made a love letter of a film, if you will, a callback to the dead babysitter horror genre and the unruly satanic panic phenomenon of the 1980s. The film had a nearly perfect tomato rating, and I remember just thinking out loud, what the hell is that? That sounds pretty ridiculous. What the hell ever happened to the classic thumbs up or thumbs down of the GOATs, Gene Siskel and Roger Ebert? So I rented this DVD, and it had one of those hot featured movie stickers on it, right? Hot movie, hot price, something like that in 2009. It seemed pretty important. Later, while screening it with a group of friends over the oh-so-popular IPAs, the craft brews of the time, and that take-and-bake pizza, the group and I watched and we waited. And after about 15 to 20 minutes, some audible sighs, moans, some tiresome, damn dude, when is this thing gonna start? Whatever happened to the plot? What the hell are we watching? This thing is slow, nothing's ever gonna happen. Famous last words for a film that's just slow to deliver. It's funny looking back on it now. I remember all the details about that movie and some of the poor company associated with it. I think about the pizza we had and the Hoposaurus Rex brews that we got from the Steelhead, rest in peace, brewery, pretty close by. But what I remember more than even that was this film and the effect that it had on me. Everyone else in the room was just really bored and just kind of almost unruling, jeering at the screen, ready for something else. And I was really taking my time with it. I was just invested. I was like, this is a vibe. This is something different. This is my speed. What year is it, right? When is this supposed to take place? This just came out? How the hell did he get it to look like that? I remember thinking. This film deserved better. A patient audience. An audience willing to take the ride and let the cult and the satanic panic swoon of the fully eclipsed moon. Thank God for perspective. You know, one of the best things about this movie right here are the stakes at play and our ability to relate to the dire circumstances of our lead actress. A young college student, Samantha, stuck in a dorm, longing for a change but unable to with her financial inabilities. Then, a spark, an apartment, a hope, a chance to make some progress. She just needs about $300. Adjusted for inflation today, that would be $1,149 on an income of net zero. She was a sophomore in college, so the search for funds starts and a babysitting gig is offered. This is where the movie sinks that first hook. Character fucking development in a big time way. With the need for money and rent on a new place, we drive out to the country for a gig with her best friend, who actually kicks major fucking ass, okay? Who gets one of the most jarring assaults on screen. The movie does her dirty, and maybe it's supposed to, but really, them's are the breaks. And in reality, it's a direct result of Sam when she decided to break the rules. Listen, it's agreed upon by the two of them. They act weird, we bail. But the price is right. And the devil is good business. Second hook itches and stings its way in a little bit deeper. It burrows in a little bit further in that meeting and introduction of the homeowner, Mr. Ullman, and his wife. The 15-minute or so monologue makes or breaks this film for the viewer. I personally will follow the Reaper from Last Action Hero into the fray any damn way, any damn day of the week. Actor Tom Noonan towers over this babysitter, towers over the help, and casts a demanding presence. I was so bought into the weirdness. I actually felt this house of the devil, this house just pulsating and kind of coming to life. The entire set, man, every hour and some change we spend in there, I was just licking my chops. I loved every single frame, stacking up interest, reckless abandon as the rope around your neck to do the goat god's bidding tightens deeper and deeper. The flashbacks, the horrific imagery, the plague, the ending, everything just gave me such a deep satisfaction. Simple, easy, evil, perfect, just different. A change of pace, an old friend. I hadn't seen a film like this in a long time, and when you revisit this film, small but giant set, the house, the human sacrifice, brutal, awesome ending, if not even a little bit anticlimactic on the first viewing, where you're like caused to ask yourself a bunch of questions. This is a film that took me about 2 times to really understand the depth, the speed, the tone, as well as just the look of it. I got more and more each time I watched this film. It's not probably the best film to watch with a group of people. It's kind of ironic when it's set as an 80s babysitter, kind of pizza haunted house flick, that it's kind of slow, has cruel intentions, and kind of sucks with the big crowd. Maybe you just have the wrong friends. Maybe I'm the problem. Every single frame by frame, there is just this leering paranoia. Every part of the screen, I felt like I was just leering, just peering in a little bit further. I didn't want to miss any of the action. I've heard this movie been described as pointless, slow, and here's my point. Go fuck yourself. I'm just kidding. My point is, and I mean that in the nicest way, everyone gets to have an opinion. And maybe mainstream audiences aren't interested in the classic satanic, classic horror of the 70s and the 80s, but I am 100% the target audience for this film. It gets better each and every time I watch it. The soundtrack, the score, the attention to detail, everything really works for me. The house, this film as a character, as a driving spiritual force, is just this malevolent, it's just this presence, man. It's like every 5 minutes I'm discovering another room, another passageway, a nook, a cranny, while our lead bebops around, spilling decorative furniture, killing pizza, knifing things left in. It's awesome, man. It's just awesome. What a vibe, what a scene, what a movie. It doesn't get better though for me in this film than that iconic shot of her coming up the stairs when she first wonders what's going on with the grandmother, the mom in the house, right? Why is she up there? Where is she going? I have goosebumps thinking about it. If she knew what was behind that door, there's just this paranoia, man. And she's coming up the stairs with that knife raised. I'm telling you, man, her silhouette, it casts this shadow, it sends shivers, shockwaves, and reminders of the once immortal classic Universal monsters. That scene with the knife, chef's kiss. Absolute perfection, made under $1 million and with much of the budget going into the tiles, the formica, the wallpaper, keeping it authentic to the time period of a babysitter in a house, the Satanism, the paranoia of the 80s. This is a film that it really proved that Ty West was like, he was a force to be reckoned with, man. It makes sense now we got X and Pearl, right? For me personally, I think The Innkeepers is my favorite film by him because it was probably the first one, maybe the first or second movie I seen. Maybe House was first. I can't remember, but Innkeepers just, that's a vibe. But House, man, I love this film so much. Shot on 16mm night after night in the winter of Connecticut in 3 weeks. Ty West just spit this thing out, man. Just fucking let it rip. Went all in. Perfect cast, perfect score, perfect blood and gore. Perfection, again, is subjective. I hadn't seen a babysitter devil slasher, a kill 'em all slow burn since I was a kid, when they were just really all the rage. And I'm the audience, perfectly suited, right place, right time. If it's not right for you, maybe just adjust your expectations a little bit. Light a fire, right? Pull the curtains, turn up your sound, put your feet up, snake a cold brew. You might just be glad you did. So after all that, any of this sound interesting? House of the Devil tickle your fancy even just a little bit? This is the release you need right now. This is the chunky box from Second Sight. Does the Blu-ray look incredible? It does. It looks exactly how Ty West wanted it to look. Tons of special features because Second Sight always kills it. You know what to expect from them. You got 69 pages here to read about. Look at that image, right? The old evil demon on the back. Then, of course, you've got the art cards. Who wants them? You want a couple art cards, dude? Send me a message. I'll just send them to you. I have nothing to do with them. But what you need to do right now is get on the movieroom.com. The Movie Room, the best movie partner in the business for boutique, for collectors like myself. This is what you need in your collection right now. No cap, as the young kids say, okay? Use my code BEYOND10. Pick it up today. You're going to want to watch it this weekend. You're going to want to watch it when the weather turns for a minute. This is what you need in your life, you guys. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Cheers.